And I am just hanging in there, guys. I'm going to open up the show here. So, everybody, welcome. Happy Tuesday. This is episode number 15. Hard to believe, 15 already, of What Keeps You Up at Night, Entrepreneurship During Challenging Times. I am your co-host, Colin Weston. I'm also the community leader for Startup Vancouver, which is one of over 40 community chapters of Startup Canada across this country, which is the voice of the over 3.5 million entrepreneurs in this country of ours. So today we're mixing it up a little bit here. Rather than have some guests, which we normally have two guests, two co-hosts, all about twos here, mixing it up, we said, you know what? Let's flip it around and make it about our audience here, our attendees. So this is our audience participation episode. And we have, I see so far, we've got 3 people on here joining us here. We got Irma joining us also here, who's an entrepreneurship student at Global Startup School, and also helping us out as a volunteer with Startup Vancouver. Let me promote her to panelist too. We've got Tamara, who's also one of our Startup Vancouver community leaders, who we haven't seen in a little while, and amazing the fact that we've got her on here. So I'm gonna go to gallery view here and get everybody there. So, hey, we got Reza here. I got to introduce him in a second here. And I see we got Tats. And hey, Michael's joining us here too. So everybody, hey, how's it going today? Let's start with Reza. Let's start with you today, buddy.
I'm doing great. Normally, I'm pumped to interview somebody else, and I've got my questions ready. But today is a different show. We are letting all the attendees to participate and have a different go at it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we don't all talk over each other here. Tell you what, I'm gonna stop the gallery view here for a second. I'm just gonna share my screen, do a quick little opening and community announcements, and then we're going to start talking to our attendees today and ask them what keeps you up at night, what's going on in your entrepreneurial endeavors, what's going on in life, what's working, what isn't, what's freaking you out, what's exciting you, all that good stuff. So yeah, just hang on here. Let me share here.
We've got one more attendee, Marilyn. Marilyn, we're going to get you in on the conversation in a second.
Let's do that. And my screen's here. Gee, I thought I had this all figured out here. Reza, nice and easy. I try to make this simple, and it's actually making things more complicated here. You know what? I'm not going to do the screen today. We're going to take that off. Let me stop that. We don't need to do that. I'm just going to use my words. That's what we're going to do here. Going to get everybody back on screen. So yeah, as we open up here, we don't have to make any intros to guests today because we're all the guests today. But the one thing I do want to mention here with Startup Vancouver, best way to get in touch with us is through social media, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn also. Gotta say that. And also we have our YouTube channel up and running where we have all the episodes recorded and we do post them on here. So if you missed any in the past, you can go back there. Or if you like this one so much, you liked it so nice, thought it was so nice, you watched it twice. So you can do that also. And please subscribe while you're there as we're building community there. As you probably know, if you've joined us before, on Thursdays, my co-host is Maryam Mobini. And on Tuesdays, as always, it's Reza V. And I was going to do an interview with Reza today to see what keeps him up at night. We're going to get into that a little bit too, and all the good things he does. But let's start off first with, before we get into talking to Tats and Michael and Irma, Tamara, our good friend, we haven't seen in months. What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. It's been such a crazy time, I guess, for everybody the last couple of months, and just trying to kind of get our feet below us and grasp this new environment that we're all trying to kind of work in and thrive in. And it's just been a fun little adventure with its ups and downs, but I'm glad to be back and excited that things are starting to kind of return to more of a normal state. And hopefully onwards and upwards from here.
Yeah, well, we'd love to hear some of the things that you've been working on in the last few months. And once again, for those that you don't know, Tamara's been an unbelievable supporter for Startup Vancouver, one of our community leaders. And you've been so busy with some other things and taking care of some other things also that you kind of stepped away. But now you're back, and we not to put too much pressure on you, but hopefully you come back on and help make our good thing great. So I'm going to stop talking here. Reza, I got to have you chat to our friends here.
I'm interested to get our audience to share with us what is it you guys look forward when you're watching a show on entrepreneurship or Startup Vancouver. Is there anything specific you guys are going through? We want to make this show more. We want to bring the most value to people who are watching every week. Who wants to take a go at that?
Yeah, Tats, let's start with you. So how's it going?
Good. Things are going well. You know, I see a lot of companies out there which their business models have imploded. So that's very challenging for sure. You know, for us, we've just stayed focused on what we need to do. Our clients are sort of intact. I mean, some of them have slowed down, but we feel very lucky that we're kind of in a pocket. So for me personally, I've been trying to help others, you know, make that transition as much as possible. So been reaching out to people and seeing if I can help out, you know, because some companies in our sector aren't as digital as we are. So, you know, we've been trying to do our best to give back. So yeah, that's what we've been up to.
Good stuff. Perhaps, Tats, before we jump over to Michael, you can give our viewers here a bit of an overview of what you do and why you do it. I know you juggle a few different balls. So maybe you can tell people a bit about what you do in the entrepreneurship space.
Sure. I mean, I started in my entrepreneurship side and helping companies launch different products. About 10 years ago, I took a technology that my business partner invented. He invented a bunch of stuff. Like he invented the Windows Media Player, sold it to Bill Gates, and he did a bunch of other stuff. But he had a technology, spin-off technology that we thought we could commercialize, develop some more IP. And at that same time, it was a coincidence, but the Dragon's Den was hosting a national-wide competition. And this is the only time they did it. And they were looking for the best green innovation in Canada. And out of 4,000 companies, we came in first. So that's how we launched our company. So,
Nice.
So we were in the oil and gas sector, water and wastewater. We're currently in flooring and roofing. In about 2014, we took a massive hit with the oil price coming down. And our sales tanked about 80%. And it was pretty rough getting through that, but we found a way. So this time around, definitely we're in a better position, but definitely those sort of moments you worry about, you know, what's coming around the corner. So as an entrepreneur, sometimes you know that, you know, there's certain things you will have control over and you don't, but it's hard to take those things out of your head sometimes.
Got it. Well, thanks for sharing that. Hey, Reza, do you want to, I don't know if you know Michael, but maybe you can do an introduction there, or let's have a chat.
Michael, we've never met, but I'm curious to know what is it you are in, and what industry are you in?
Well, that is an excellent question. I worked a lot in the web space, so the last couple of jobs I had, I was working on software, SaaS platforms, software as a service platforms, and I've been on the runway for quite a while here on the entrepreneurship space.
Nice.
And I mean, for me, my worst fault is I just, like, I'll drift into isolating and just learning a new technology to like a reasonably okay point where I can build little apps and I get enthused with them. I can be like a fantastic buzz generator, but I seem to lose interest in my stuff like a little too quickly. I'm almost envious of people that can just stay monomaniacal about one thing for a very, very long time. I suffer from excessive ideation, and a lot of the ideas are good, but I get bored of them, and it's killing me.
I feel like you're not the only person. Most entrepreneurs are like that. We are all thinking about different things, and we can't quite focus on one at a time.
Yeah, well, I need to get off the runway. I was really, really looking to go out and meet other people. And I mean, for me, the isolation, it really is a terrible problem already. You can see I'm in an attic, right? Like my natural tendency is to sit here and either read a book or learn how to program the Google Assistant or AppSheet or like, Python or whatever is new.
Yeah.
And I need to get in with like some sort of team. Part of my goal has been to build one for myself, but we're not in a big pool in Vancouver. I don't know how much you can or can't relate to that, but
Mhm.
I'm thinking if I go out and meet more people consistently, I'm going to increase my odds. And I don't want to stay on the runway forever, but I don't want to launch too soon because I know the types of spaces that I'm interested in getting into. Like
Mhm.
it's a question of optimizing probabilities. And if you do things on the web, like the odds are somewhere between 1 in 20 to 1 in 500 if you really aren't careful and you really don't pick the right thing and you really don't run with the right team, you don't have the right
Wow.
salespeople. This and if you go to the meetups, which I've been doing,
Nice. Nice.
the venture capitalists tell you they're looking for the strongest possible, best team, with all the highest
Yep.
educational background. And I don't have all of those things. I'm a generalist with
Now,
the
Michael,
one.
I relate to that a lot, and I've I don't know if you've heard, but I recently went to all these crazy amount of events
Yeah.
specifically because of that. Because I believe the team and the people is what makes it or breaks it. The technology or the idea is just a little portion of it. So definitely get out there, and we are stuck at home, I get it, but these
Yeah.
opportunities like today or these events are there for a reason. Marilyn is part of a business meetups that is happening. She's actually going to a lot of these events. She's a good connection to have. And everybody else, we are trying to reach out as much as we can and build a good community. So you've got to meet more people and
Yeah.
build that. I think that's
Michael, it sounds like you're looking for a compliment though, because like I get off track sometimes, but I have a lot of people on me that keep me on track. So it sounds like you need like one or a couple of people to sort of help you hone, because I know a lot of entrepreneurs that are like this, like more ideas in time, but there's the people that sort of change things, and then there's people that like to keep things the same, and the sort of coordination between those two, what drives great companies, right?
Yeah, and then we all have both tendencies as well, right? And so, I can only push I have a couple of clients there. It's hard to get money out of them or even get ourselves organized. Probably I need more clients, but to have an engine, you kind of have to have the income coming in. There's a commitment level on all the parties involved, and I have a number of
But
challenges in that
if you
area.
have the right person, right? You look at your pricing. Are you pricing your services properly? Are you going after the right terms, right? And the right deal structure with what you're putting together? The person with the right type of mind can help you with that stuff, right? It doesn't have to be a chronic problem.
I can't figure it out all on my own, that's for sure.
I relate to what Tats is saying. I was lucky earlier this last year. I met someone who is the complete opposite of me. He's super focused. He keeps asking me, Reza, you have crazy ideas, but what's the problem we are solving? What is the solution? Who is the target? He keeps bringing me back to reality, and we've got a good duo happening, and he's the technical leader, I'm the marketing person, and we're keeping each other balanced. I keep telling him there are rooms to we don't have to be confined in this engineering what do you call it? A lot of engineers I've met, they want the easy way. They want something that's super easy to do, and I want to do something that's unique and never done before. And then all of a sudden, we clash our ideas. So it's a great balance. You've got to find your person or your co-founder.
I've done sales as well. I know both sides of the
Nice.
both sides of that question, both perspectives.
Nice.
Before I do want to jump over and have Amir and Marilyn jump in the conversation here too, but Michael also wanted to say, I know during COVID times we've got away from all the good things we did last year with Startup Vancouver of having in-person events with fan startup stories, and also as both Reza and Tamara are aware of and participated in with our Van Startup Drinks, where we had over 200 people every single month show up and just having conversations, and those are the kind of the great places to meet people that wanted to help and learn from each other. So that will happen again. We're even playing with the idea of doing a virtual startup drinks. But we will be, it may have to wait till 2021, but we will be doing all those good things again. That will also help propel you forward. And that's what we're here for with Startup Vancouver. Just like the sign says behind you, that's what we're here for, is to connect entrepreneurs with each other and the resources and the events and the opportunities. So, except we're not here to, as the Tinder for entrepreneurs, to hook you up directly, but we can set the stage to help facilitate that the best we can.
Hey, Colin, I met Itai, my co-host of another podcast, through your event. I met Tamara through your event. I met so many people in Startup Vancouver through your event, and now here we are doing a show together.
So maybe we are the Tinder of startups. So maybe we are. Maybe it's not a bad thing, a Tinder of entrepreneurship. But
Startup Vancouver is helping us build our social capital. I don't know.
Yeah,
and that's
Yes,
what
Agreed.
so we're here for. So Marilyn, I know you're on mute there, but maybe you can unmute yourself. Hello, how are you? How are things? Oh, you're still muted. You should be able to unmute yourself in the lower left corner there.
Colin, are you maybe able to, as the host, unmute people?
I will try. Let's see if I can.
I think sometimes that's an option.
I'm clicking on her. I'm trying. Unmute audio.
Marilyn, it'll be on the bottom left corner of your screen. Oh, it's just not working.
Oh, we can't hear you. Well,
not today.
Well, hold on. But hopefully we can find that out. If you can find, as Tamara mentioned there, if you just roll over your mouse there on the bottom of the screen, and you should see mute on the far left side. Oh, that's frustrating. Technology has failed you there.
It's the theme of 2020.
How about Amir, are you able to unmute yourself there?
Yes.
There we go.
Hi everyone. It's nice to meet you all. I'm actually not from Vancouver. I'm coming from Toronto. It's a very pleasure to meet you all. I met Reza before. I spoke with Reza, and I'm quite happy that I meet you, all of you guys. Marlene, it's a pleasure to meet you as well. And I see you're unmuting. You cannot mute yourself. Well, let me. Can you share your screen, Colin? So I think that would be the best. Oh yeah, now you can.
You're unmuted.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
she doesn't have, I think, this speaker. Anyway, I'm just happy to join you guys and for this webinar. I'm very happy to see all of you guys. I can see there's a lot of connections and a lot of new companies start up. So it's a great to share ideas and to have a conversation. It's a great to have a networking and to bring challenges that you guys as an entrepreneur, I know you guys have so many challenges, and life is a challenge, so it's great to stick with it and play with it and learn it from each other, and I like to be part of it and try to learn from you guys, so I'm very happy.
Thank you for joining. Colin, we wanna be mindful of time.
Of course.
I would love to open it up to questions. Most people know me. I'm Reza V. Most people here know me actually because of Startup Vancouver, thanks to Colin. But I'm Reza V. I'm the founder of OVU Inc. And I'm passionate about helping others to build their social capital, their network, and help them connect better and build their community. If there's any questions, if there's anything, I'm an open book. Go ahead, ask me.
Well, I'll ask a question since no one else is jumping in quite yet. There, Reza, we of course met because you did this amazing thing that set you apart from everybody else, and you just figured it out as you went, and that was doing 100 events in 100 days. So can you tell us about that journey from, let's say, what it was like on event number 1, event number 25, event number 50, and then event number 100? What that journey was like over that 3-month period?
I'll try to make it short. Event number 1, I wasn't aware of anything that came after that. Like I was signing up for a very interesting ride, and I was just open to whatever that could happen and navigate through it. Event number 25, lots of people discouraging me, lots of people telling me what the heck you're doing, you're wasting your time. a lot of people telling me that put together a deck all, as a pity. That was the attitude. I'll show it to some investors. You don't need to do all these events. You're killing yourself for no reason. Event number 50, I slowly got to refine my pitch. Instead of me telling everybody that I'm doing 100 events for 100 days and not knowing what the reason is, now I had a bit of a what do you call it? A better guideline, or I knew where it's going. Event number 75, people slowly recognized me. See, I started seeing people over and over at these events. They started warming up to the idea. They started seeing where it's going. And I had an idea of launching my product at the end of it. The 100th event was the idea of it was formed around then. And even 100, 200 and a little over 200 people paid $40 or close to $40 to be part of a product launch, which usually companies pay for people to be part of it. I had 4 panelists, 4 really amazing entrepreneurs coming and sharing their stories, and we had our discussion there. I had a 17-minute talk. I recently, people sent me from TEDx. They saw my YouTube video of that 17-minute talk, and they sent me the application. They were like, "We would love to have you talk here." So fingers crossed my application goes through. Stuff happened from there. That 100th event was my foundation of everything else I'm doing so far.
It's amazing. And what I love about this, and for people out there that are just starting to explore entrepreneurship, and whether they're watching Dragon's Den or they're watching Shark Tank and have this over romanticized idea that you come up with an idea and you get out there in front of investors and you kind of haggle over things and it all takes off. That's not how it works. It is sometimes not so romantic, and it takes a lot of work and tenacity and perseverance and some ingenuity. And I love the fact that you just put yourself out there as an experiment and to see where that went, and where you started at event number 1 and ended with event 100, completely different place. It was not a straight line at all, as entrepreneurship is not, of course, but I just love the fact of your why. And I want you to explain why you did it in the first place and what that actually means, what entrepreneurs can take away as a long-term investment in themselves of building what we call social capital.
It's interesting. I couldn't pinpoint my why while I was doing it, but looking back, I grew up in an entrepreneurial family. My grandfather started from nothing. He built his legacy, and then my dad and uncles, everybody were in business. And this is when I was in Iran. And growing up in that environment, I was the 3rd generation in this network that was built before me. So that social capital was something that 2 generations before me built it already. And I had access to all these networks and important people. And if I wanted to get something done, I could just ask my family to introduce me to someone that could help me. I come to Canada, all that social capital, unfortunately, you can't wire transfer social capital like money. I lost it. I came here, it's just me. My grandfather, my uncles, my dad, they don't mean anything in Vancouver. And when I was starting my startup, I knew I need to build that myself the same way my grandfather built it 50 years ago. And that was the drive. I was like, I need to get out there. I need to meet people. And luckily, my product, it was a great leverage. And I never thought about my product as something that is going to be the next Facebook. I thought about that this is going to help me launch my career, because my product needs to serve me as an entrepreneur, not me serving my product. And that's always been the way I looked at it. And I was surprised how people are hiding behind their profession, and I'm trying to their impact than the business they're involved today, because that may change in the future. So that was the intuition that got me out there, and I wanted to desperately meet people, get to know them, let the curiosity take the wheel, and now I'm here.
Nice.
Right. I gotta go soon, but I want to ask one question. So just
So favorite mistake. One of the ones I keep is I went to events. I shook more than 1,000. I met a lot of people. I could have done market research for my product, but I didn't have I didn't put the time, and I didn't have the knowledge per questionnaire. Like if it was handy and I could ask them. So I let my passion biases cloud my judgment along the way. I wish I had data on the side that I could fall back to and then get rid of those biases. So a lot of times I was passionate about my product, the other person got excited, and I wasn't sure, is it excitement because of me or my product? So that's my favorite mistake so far. A great question. I love that question.
Well,
anybody else wants to take it? Or we are close to the hour.
We are. Well, I just want to turn it over to Tats for a second, because I know you've done, just through what I've seen on LinkedIn over the last 6-8 months or so, and you've gone a similar route to just put yourself out there and establish yourself as a thought leader, and to give back and offer something in return. And I know we're not all extroverts. Some of us are introverts or in between somewhere. So it's challenging and difficult and scary to do that. But you've managed to put yourself out there. So what good things have you learned and have come about because of you putting yourself out there like that?
Well, I mean, I'll say a quick little story. Years ago, I had a colleague that was, we had an entrepreneurial mastermind, and he went and took a comedy class and performed. I'm like, I'm ever gonna do that. And then lately, I've been working on public speaking and all those things, because if you want to become more successful, you draw more eyeballs to yourself. So if you're uncomfortable and do that, you're going to do things to self-sabotage yourself. So I've tried really hard to become more comfortable with that. And I took comedy classes and I performed in front of 60 people, and it scared me, terribly. But I did it. I took the whole feedback process better, and I find that the more you do that, the more your business grows. The more you grow as a person, everything else around you gets better. So it's just a constant process, but I'm having a lot of fun.
Nice. That's important. Having a lot of fun along the way. And public speaking is, I can't emphasize how public speaking and storytelling is important in this journey. It's one of the most important. I have a question from Michael.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Thanks. I gotta go, but I appreciate what you guys do. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Thank
All
you
right.
for joining.
Take care.
Did you know what the final product and customer profile look like? If not, then it seems like you follow. I didn't quite nail down the customer profile, but going in it, I wanted to be where people are actually handing these business cards to each other. I wanted to learn everything there is to that moment, what is happening, what's the intention behind it, what are the drivers. So I put myself out there as cards. I wanted to see those interactions, and then from trade shows and conferences, it went to salespeople, and now it went to auto industry. They really like it, so I had to pivot that. But there was an intention when I was out there talking to these people.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
well, it sounds like you followed the natural path. If you jumped too soon, you would have found that you jumped too soon.
Absolutely.
And that's one of those characteristics that's almost counterintuitive with an entrepreneur, where he's got to go so fast first to market all those things. Sometimes you got to be patient, and that's really hard. I know for myself as an entrepreneur, and sometimes letting things come to you is really hard. And that's something that most entrepreneurs agonize, because you don't want to fear of missing out on an opportunity, and that mindset and culture that you got to go a million miles an hour and be the first one, or you're going to miss out. So we could have this conversation.
The first one.
No, you never. Yeah. I was going to say we're a little past the top of the hour here, so we can have this conversation probably for another 3 hours the way this is going here. I've loved this format. This is, as entrepreneurs, a bit of an experiment. I'm just putting it out there. Let's do an audience participation show. Hopefully everybody's enjoyed this. I think this has been interactive. Marilyn, unfortunately, we can't hear you, so we were not able to get you. We still can't hear you, so we can't get your insights today. But hopefully next time we'll figure that out. If we do this once a month, perhaps as having an audience participation, we will do that. But Reza, before I hand it over you to finish the show, I will end the show as we usually do, and that is a thank you to the people that have donated to our charity partner, which is jack.org, which is an advocacy group that supports mental health awareness for youth all across the country and the territories in Canada here. So with that, I'm going to sing a little song here. And it goes something like this. Nice donation by you. Jack.org says thank you. You are awesome. Marilyn and Michael and Amir and Tamara. Nice donation by you. And to let you know, at the end of the month, we raised $215 last month. We raised $180 this month. I thank you all for that. I'll be donating that next week to jack.org. So thank you again for that, because it's a great charity that does amazing work. So with that, Reza, I'm going to turn it over to you for the last word of the day.
And that's exactly why attendees show up, because of your singing. None of the other parts matter. Amazing show. We are experimenting every week to see what is the best way to bring you guys value. Every week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 12:30 to 1 o'clock in Vancouver time, Pacific time, we are joining you guys for a lunch break. It's a quick, snappy show, and we are interviewing entrepreneurs and trying to give you guys value. Join us every week, and that's today, episode 15.
Here we go. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care. All right, happy Canada Day. There we go. Bye now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.